Wow, thank you so much, Delicious Nick, for that insane ride. That was a really good set, dude. Thanks for submitting that for us. I hope everybody at home enjoyed that set from Delicious Nick. Definitely go check him out on all his links. I am joined now here live at VGM Con by Jon, aka the Arkadian.
What's up, buddy?
What is going on with you?
Well, a lot. I'm at VGM Con.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been at VGM Con, in fact.
I wasn't here for last year, but I caught a lot of the footage, which was great. But like, I definitely missed being at the convention. I'm really glad to be back for this one. So. Yeah.
I'm glad that we finally synced up because this is actually our
honestly, yeah,
in person.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I had to kind of like let my hair down.
Yeah,
and there's like
we got to have a little bit of majesty in this moment. So I get it. Yeah,
I'm glad you said majesty. But I was going to say competition.
I mean, your hair is definitely a lot longer than mine now. I had it cut like in January, and for some reason, it has not been wanting to get back to that length. So I'm just kind of working on that. So
is this working better for you, Pico? All right, thank you very much, guys. All right. Anyways, I said hi. And I'm Josh, and this is Jon, and we're having a wonderful chat about our hair.
As we should.
Oh my God!
We're just beautiful long-haired men.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm glad that came from you because if it came from me, it would. Anyways, oh my God, Jon, it's so nice to see you and to meet you in person finally for the first time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the hell you're doing at VGM Con?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm performing. Usually when I'm here, I'm performing. So, like, I've got a couple of sets that I'm doing. I have my own set that I'm doing on Saturday. I'm not officially opening up Saturday. I think I'm the second set for the Hero Stage. But I'm going to be at the Hero Stage, kind of doing my normal Arkadian stuff. I do have special guests on this one. So I've got Grant Henry, the wonderful Stemmage, filling in on a couple songs, some things that we've done. And a song that I've done with Ian Cowell in the past, who's also on my set, which is great. And we've got a couple songs that we're doing there, but we're finally getting to do some pinball music together, which I have been wanting to do for a long time, something we've talked about for a long time, and it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited.
Damn, yeah, you got a real A-list of guitar players joining you for the set that you're already playing guitar in.
Yeah, I wanted an excuse to kind of not play guitar for a bit on this one because like most of the stuff that I do outside of guitar is singing, and I feel like if I've got some pretty qualified guitar players on my set, I can just kind of give myself a break and just scream my ass off. So
right on. Yeah. Well, I look forward to that, folks. If you are not educated, Jon has an incredible set of pipes. Some of the best in VGM, absolutely.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate that.
Well, we all know very well.
We talked about this earlier too. I don't like to toot my own horn, and he knows this. But every time I hear it, I do appreciate it very much because I know there's a lot of people out in the VGM scene that are 1,000 times better than I am. But I do appreciate the compliment.
Okay, well, that is one way to reject a compliment. Absolutely.
No, I'm not rejecting it. I swear. This isn't me rejecting it.
Well, I wanted to ask, like, what you do to warm up, and like how do you maintain your voice?
I mean, obviously, it depends on what I'm drinking. Obviously, today I had a little bit of beer, so that doesn't really help. But normally, I'm drinking water. I'm drinking hot teas, mostly stuff that has like specific things. So, and it's different for everybody. But for me, it's I do a throat coat that has alka root in it. It's also got a little bit of marshmallow root, which is really good for the throat. Yeah, it's a really good lubricant for the throat. Drinking a lot of water, making sure it's at room temp, not cold. Otherwise, it does shock my vocals, and I can't hit those high notes like I can. And that's really about it. I try not to eat too much before I perform. With it being super early on, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But usually I have a meal, I think about 4 hours before I sing, and that gets me enough energy to kind of do a 90-minute set. So
wow, yeah. Secrets of the trade from the man himself. Oh my God, take notes at home, everybody. I'm taking notes. I'm going to watch the VOD back and be like, I'm just going to jot it all down. All right.
Every voice crack, he's just going to have like a note for it and just be like, okay, didn't drink enough tea.
Yeah, marshmallow root.
Are constantly in judgment.
Oh man, well I can't hit those high notes like you can, but maybe if it helps on the low end, I wouldn't mind that a little bit.
It definitely does, for sure.
Yeah, awesome, dude. And what about guitar? Because you're also quite the classic rock shredder. Yeah, like what made you pick up a guitar?
So I started playing guitar when I was 7. I grew up in an open music household, so like I started listening to 50s rock, Carl Perkins, Chuck Berry, Scotty Moore, who played guitar for Elvis. Like those were my guys to start with, and then I kind of went from there. By the time I was about 13, Angus Young, Jimmy Page, Ace Frehley, who have been kind of like mainstay influences in what I do primarily, is I just kind of picked that up, and it's been my influences ever since. So
yeah, just shooting for the stars.
Pretty much, yeah. Onwards and upwards in the 20th century of music.
Oh my God. Well, we haven't seen a whole lot from the Arkadian for the past little while. I think the last major release we had from you was Rage Quit Volume 2.
Yep.
There was a Christmas release after that as well.
Yes. Yeah. There was an original. I had a lot of life stuff that went on, and I kind of had to put the Arkadian, I mean, really just music in general, I had put on the back burner. I did have some performances that were lined up last year, and I got COVID for one of them, so I couldn't make that. And then really the rest of it, I got to a point where, like I said, a lot of life things happened, and I had to take a break. I had to focus on my own stuff, which sucked, because I didn't really get a chance to say hi to my friends like I normally do, and we didn't really get to hang out for a whole lot, even on the internet. And I kind of went off the grid for about a year and a half, and it sucked. But really, more than anything, though, it helped me realize that even though I'm kind of slowly coming back into the community, as with the stuff that I do and the stuff that I've done, just how inclusive this environment is, and just how support, every time I've come back and just even popped in to just say hey, either in the bonus stage chat, Dwelling of Duels chat, you name it, everybody's just like, oh my God, it's the Arkadian, how is it? It's good to see you. It's just kind of we're just picking up where we left off. So that's kind of the main thing I love about the VGM community more than anything.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, and super happy to see you.
Yeah.
I got to ask, because obviously we're going to have the Arkadian tomorrow.
Yes.
Have you had any other performances as the Arkadian since you've been coming back?
I've had a couple. So I did kind of a prerequisite convention in kind of near my hometown. I'm based out of Oklahoma City now, but I did it south of Oklahoma City, and it went really well. There was a really good response there, and I normally don't get to play a lot of conventions in my hometown. For some reason, it's just something where I think just the nerdcore scene in general, not just necessarily video game music, it's not as supported as it is in other regions of the country, but it is very, very well received whenever it does show up. So,
yeah.
But other than that, that's been about it. I have been working on Arkadian material. I'm always working on Arkadian material. I'm always saying that hey, the next Originals album is coming out XYZ, and then I'm like, hey, scratch that, it's coming out here. And I've been working on a covers EP for the past 2.5 years, and the Originals have been going on for I don't even know. Yeah. Probably since the release of the first one. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you some advice, and I've been trying to give this advice to people in the VGM scene generally. Announce a release date when you have it in hand. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just really with anything that I've put out, I've always been that way. But it's just, I don't know what it is, man. Just even when logistically something happens or something like that, I always enjoy seeing the response. And so and it's never necessarily a psych out. It does suck when something comes in the way, but I agree with you. So when that comes up in hand, you'll be the first to know.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Cool. Appreciate that.
Of course.
I'll be first in line.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, because we got to play some pinball at some point.
We do. Yeah. And that's a very nice segue into what I wanted to talk about next, because we have a very intense common hobby of playing pinball, dude. Yes. And you were saying we were having a drink at the bar, and you were talking about your involvement in your local pinball tournament.
Yes. Yeah. I do have a pinball league that I am in. When I was super active in it, and this was when I was taking my hiatus, I was in the top 15. I'm pretty much in the, I said top 20, but there were a lot of tournaments that I missed, so I'm top 30 now. But it's still in the state. That's about 200 players. But pinball is kind of like my my like decompressor for like not just with the stuff that I'm doing musically, but just with like, you know, with work or with anything like that. And I have a league that meets up every Tuesday night at Cactus Jack's Arcade in Oklahoma City, which you should check out. They have a lot of good stuff. That wasn't a plug or anything. I just wanted to shout out to them because they're awesome. But but it's a really cool, inclusive family. A lot of people that I've met that have worked in the film industry, also in the music industry, and just like various walks of life. And it's just been it's a really cool community. I mean, just pinball in general, just like video games, it's a good community to be a part of. So,
do you have a go-to table?
I do. I actually have 5 in no particular order because they're all my favorites. But Monster Bash by Williams. I have in terms of the classics. So like classics for me are like early '80s onward, and before that. We have a Williams Grand Prix, which I love, just specifically just because of my times playing at Cactus Jack's. Let's see. I got to put a newer one in there. I do like Stern's Venom. Stern's Venom is really fun. I like the fact that they kind of gave it like a more video game element too, with the new thing that they've added, the Insider thing. I got 2 more, I think, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I had to think about that for a second. I do have to put a band table in there just because they do a lot of band tables. I do like the Bally Kiss pinball machine as well as the Stern like modern Kiss pinball machine because I get to listen to Kiss while I'm playing. It's one of my favorite bands. And then my last one, it's always neck to neck between these two. I don't know why.
You can have 6.
I can have 6. Okay, cool. Medieval Madness, just because it's an easy game to play.
Classic.
And then I also really like, we were talking about this earlier, I really like the Skyrim table from Pinball FX.
Pinball FX3, yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
And because we were talking about pinball music earlier as well, I wanted to ask maybe a controversial question. Is pinball music VGM?
I would say yes, because, and this is why, a lot of people that work on the especially in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of people that worked on the soundtracks are the guys who did the soundtracks for Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam. So like they were working with Midway Games, which was kind of like a merger company with Bally for quite a long time. So I mean, honestly, with Dwelling of Duels doing a pinball month, it's VGM. Like it's got to be VGM.
Nice. Dwelling of Duels did it, so it's valid.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Dwelling of Duels canon, so it's canon in everywhere else. So yeah.
Well, I'm merely a pinball appreciator.
Yeah.
You are definitely much more of a connoisseur, and I really appreciate how much knowledge and history that you speak to every time that we talk about pinball together.
It's got a very elaborate history. I mean, like the fact that it was banned for almost 4 decades and then somehow got unbanned because one guy made a shot and proved it in front of the entire Congress. Like that's insane. Like it's cool. It's a cool history, and it's also like it's probably the most rock and roll thing out there. Like it's such a rebellious game compared to everything else, even when it comes to arcade games.
Well, it's kind of like proto arcade games, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, dude, I don't know what else to ask. Do you want to ask me anything?
How have you been?
I've been good.
Good
Yeah,
to
I've
hear.
been having a good time.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, we're just chilling, man. I mean, I will say, so like this is the first time we've seen each other.
Yeah.
Vibes have been so good.
Yes.
I this is long overdue, and I just got to say that I love you so much, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I love it. There it is. It's the video evidence. We can cut it now. We're going to use that for something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, because we talked about doing a lot of stuff over the years, and like it's with how things have happened, and I won't get too much into it, but like it does suck the way certain things ended up. But no matter what, like the stuff that you've told me that you're doing, which I won't talk about, but. But I mean, I don't know why I did that. Just like spoiler alert. I'm very excited for you for what you have going on, and like I support everything that you're doing, man. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's so cool to have you here. Before we go, just one last question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite feel good summertime jam?
Oh yeah. I was here for Austin Green's interview, and he said Delfino Plaza. I don't think that's the right one. But
for Austin or for you?
I don't think it's the right one in general, but it's always like the answer is going to be different from everybody, right? So for me, just kind of goes with my personality. The entire soundtrack to Muppets Party Cruise, because it's Mario Party, it's the Muppets, and everything feels like you're in a conga line. Like, it's the best. Also, being the margarita connoisseur that I am, that's what I drink margaritas to half the time.
You're just like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna decompress on a Friday night. I've got my Muppets Party Cruise. I'm
gonna listen to floor 1 of Muppets Party Cruise and drink a strawberry margarita.
Wow, that does sound like a good time.
It's always a good time.
Oh my god. Well, we'll have to try that sometime.
Absolutely.
Would you do us the honor of signing our banana there, which is
and it's purple, my favorite color. That and green.
awesome. Let's see. Do we have any other donations or anything that we need to update before we head on over?
We have no more updates on the sinking ship minigame, but every $5 donation is a reminder. You get to say one of the coordinates on this chart. We have one kaboom on B3.
C3.
C3. Is there one on C4? Is a kaboom on C4? I'll never tell until a donation comes in.
Awesome. Thanks for that update, Moo Man. Oh my gosh. Well, coming up next, we've got a very special presentation from Quick Save, who are over there in Baltimore. And yeah, it's going to be a rad time. Thank you very much for being here and for sharing your money and time and attention with us over here at the Warp Stage at VGM Con Sunshine Resort. Thank you very much. Let's head on over to Quick Save.